Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is day 3, round 3 of the women's half of the Q Terminals Qatar Classic 2023. You may have seen the women are ready and raring to go, so we're going to get them out onto court for you now. 2 players inside the world top 10 going head-to-head for a place in the women's quarterfinals. So let's get them out onto court. We'll start with the world number 9 from the United States of America. It is Olivia Fiechter. And today she goes up against the current world number 2, but she is the number 1 seed here in this year's tournament. From Egypt, it is the Terminator, Nouran Gohar.
Half-time.
We're back in after an incredible match between Paul Cole and Joe Macon. It's the battle of the Rod Martin Academy here. Olivia Fiechter taking on the number 1 seed, Nouran Gohar. Again, these two played last week in Paris, so this is not unfamiliar territory. Olivia Fiechter on the right-hand side of the screen. Currently inside the top 10 at number 9, has been as high as world number 7. The form that got her there is exactly why she qualified for last season's World Tour finals. Feel like she particularly had a good time at that tournament, but it's a new season. I've been informed by my co-commentator that she has put in a big shift this summer, as has absolutely everybody at the top of the game, I'm sure. Terminator, Nouran Gohar, currently 2. Nourel Sherbini dethroned her in Paris last week off that top spot. 25 years of age. Still forget how young she is. Whopping 390 career matches. Spent majority of last season at world number 1, just apart from 2 months. 75% win percentage, which is incredible. Both of these players currently sharing the same coach, so I'm sure he'll be staying neutral on this one. He is here, sitting right next to Nouran's dad. Not that he's favouring any sides, of course. Joining me is Nicole Bunyan.
Hello,
Nicole,
Lisa.
Privileged to have you next to me, because what an insight we're going to get. You also coached by Rod Martin, have spent quite a bit of time this summer with all three of
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had quite a crew up there this summer. It was really good training. Olivia made that switch early on in the summer. So her, I think she was just looking for just a change, you know, which is funny considering she had such a good season last year. But I think she wanted to make a few technical changes, just a bit more consistency as well. You know, she likes the fact that Rod's here, he's at the tournaments, he's able to be all in. I think that's why several players work with him. You know, he's able to come to the tournaments. His intensity on court is unparalleled.
Terminals, Qatar Classic
I'm sure we'll
2023.
talk a little bit more about it throughout the match.
Nouran Gohar, Egypt to
Alex
serve.
Hewitson,
Fiechter,
all the way
United
from
States to
Sikifiki,
receive.
match
Business ball
referee,
games.
taking charge of this one. And we're off. The Terminator is
One love.
also off, firing very quick to serve. I think, obviously, as you mentioned, looking to make some technical changes, Nicole. I think it just shows her maturity and just what she's looking to do in the game. As you said, had probably her best season, and that's why she got to the World Tour finals, but always looking for that next thing. How can she improve on that? Didn't perform particularly well there, but it was the end of a very long season. Potentially had a little bit of a nibble, it was hard to tell, but it was a great opportunity just for her to go, I'm here, I'm competing against the best, and I get to play them every single day for this week, and then go home and put in a good shift in the summer. So I really enjoy it when a player's just looking to better themselves, even though they're playing pretty well. You mentioned some technical changes. Obviously, Rod Martin has pretty obvious technique, and as do most of his players, so I'm assuming that we're going to see some Rod Martin-ness in Fiechter's swing.
Yeah, you can definitely see it in certain places right there around the tee, I think, you know, more height in the swing and really quick racket prep. That's one of the biggest things he emphasizes, as do many coaches, as they should.
First thing I noticed, can't remember if it was a clip on social media or perhaps a replay from Paris, but it was the very early preparation. She's a really good volleyer, controls the tee really well. Having that extra zip and earliness in her preparation is going to be lethal.
I think that's one of the things that's going to make the difference for her against the top players, as in the top 3 players, is being able to cope with that faster pace. Obviously, Nouran plays at a relentless pace. Takes that extra bit of time away from you, and so if you can quicken your racket prep and be able to cope with that hard hitting, then you're going to be able to, you know, just be able to handle the pressure and be able to have more options as well. You can see it there in her backhand prep, a little bit more alert as she's ready to return serve.
And do you think that that's the style of play that Olivia needs to play against the Terminator? Obviously, she's the very best at that. And you talked about being able to have the technique to match that and play that pace right back. And do you think that that's something that's going to work well for her here?
Maybe not play the same pace, but be able to handle it for sure. Got our first decision here. Very early on for a review.
Movement off the ball here from Fiechter for me, but still think the ball was a bit short.
No lids, decision upheld. There's one review remaining. Handouts, 2-3.
Both that Nouran Gohar is down to one of her 2 reviews early on in this first game.
There's the pace. Hits down on the ball so well. Absolutely lethal.
Yeah, as you were saying, Lisa, I think that obviously I don't think you need to necessarily try and out-hit Gohar, but being able to cope with the pace and have the technical ability to then have options or just have the ball control to cope with it. I think that's what the prep helps you with mostly. There you go. That wasn't hit necessarily hard, but it was taken quickly, which is what the advantage of the racket prep gets you.
There he goes. Rod Martin himself on his 5th packet of chewing gum today.
Loves mints, loves the chewing gum. Never without them.
Yes, let's. 3-4.
Enjoy the subtleties in Fiechter's game. I think she's got a good hold on her and she can be quite hard to read, and I just hope that she doesn't lose that.
No, I think that she'll keep the skillfulness aspect of her game and the creativity, just more about imposing her physicality and be able to use that more and, like I said, handle that faster pace that, you know, El Hamami and Gohar in particular play at.
And odds 5-3.
That's definitely something that this summer our whole crew worked on a lot. Spearheaded by Rod was the fitness aspect. So a lot of running, in addition to the tough squash sessions. If you are familiar with Rod, oh,
what a finish!
He'll hit a few nicks like that, but also the pressure sessions are tough. So it was a lot of physical work this summer to prepare you for that tough season ahead.
What does a typical pressure session with Rod look like?
Oh,
how long?
Look at that.
Oh, we're not in Paris anymore, but touché. Yeah, tell us, how long does a pressure session with Rod last?
Anywhere from minimum 45 minutes, anywhere up to potentially an hour and a half if you're doing some games in there as well.
5-6.
So if you're lucky, it's 2 people on a court. If you're even luckier, it's just you.
Defending well, Fiechter. Just varying the pace when she needs to.
See how much pressure she's under. As soon as she forces Fiechter to boast, Gohar is just sprinting up to the front. So many options, just taking that ball on the rise. Doesn't give you any time to settle.
You can tell that Fiechter recognizes the moments when she needs to use that height, but it's the quality. It needs to be a bit higher, a bit wider.
Fiechter's definitely not shying away from trying to go toe-to-toe with in terms of the pace with Gohar, but sometimes she's just a little bit further behind and it's dropping short, which allows Gohar to stamp her, her mark on there.
Gohar Still trying to race through this first game, pushing Fiechter as much as she can.
Down.
That's clever. The shot she's not
10-5.
used from the back yet.
Game ball.
5-game balls. The #1 seed. Oh, that is absolutely
11-5.
relentless.
Gohar leads 1 game.
Some of the hardest hitting we've seen all day today, Lisa.
She certainly hits the ball harder than any of the men, that's for sure. Ten minutes of pretty fast pace, high intensity stuff from both players. Nouran Gohar leading by 1 game to love.
High intensity stuff from both players, but it was Gohar that came away in front. It was really her style of play that was able to dictate this first game. Fiechter unable to really put any sort of pressure on Gohar. She did try to vary the pace, but Gohar's just on the ball far too quickly, and she's able to be more clinical with her attacks and also just push Fiechter's T position a little bit further back in the court. Be interesting to see what changes Fiechter's able to make in the second game.
Play will resume in 60 seconds.
Interesting also to hear afterwards perhaps what Rod Martin has to say about the match.
Well, we'll send you straight down there, Nicole. You can report back to us.
Impromptu
Play will resume in
envision.
30 seconds.
Impromptu interview.
I'm all keen for that. I'm sure everybody on Squash TV will be.
Time. Gohar leads 1 game to love. Level. Down. On love. Love.
Well, not the start that Fiechter will have wanted here in the second game. It's frustrating, just not getting her lines. That basic serve and return a serve. It applies equally at the top of the game.
Love. Five love.
Reset required here for Fiechter.
Well, Lisa, as we said earlier, these two played in Paris just a short while ago. And obviously both of these players are gonna have come away with different ideas on the match, right? What they thought they did well, you know, what they thought they maybe could have improved upon. And it seems like so far, Nouran has made the more obvious changes or the more obvious improvements. This has been a much more comfortable match for her so far than it was last time in Paris.
Very different glass court.
It's true.
As well.
Much more severe.
To me, this just looks like Gohar at Gohar's best. Do you think tactically there's been a change?
I think that her length is a lot more punishing on this court, which then sets her up for even more devastating attacks. Her her touch and her short game isn't the strongest part of her game. It's not by no means poor, but you know, compared to her line hitting, which is such a strength, I think that just because her touch is actually, you know, it comes off better on this court.
She's doing a really good job of stretching out this court for Fiechter. As you said, it's a lot more punishing all round this court in Paris.
Not up. 8-1.
Just tried to take the ball too early there, Fiechter. Opening the court up.
Speaking of, look how early Nouran is taking the ball. She's seeing it, like you guys say, like a golf, or not like a golf ball, sorry, like a football. Oh man, American football or a soccer ball, whatever it is, but definitely not a golf ball. That's just like a squash ball.
2-9.
Oof. Literally any other kind, but not a golf ball. But
well, I'd be shouting 4 all round if that was a golf ball with a Terminator hitting it.
you ever played rackets, Lisa?
I haven't, no, but I don't think I want to.
That is a golf ball, basically an American doubles size court with like a white golf ball. It's dangerous.
I have seen that ball and thought it's not the sport for me. Scary.
Yes, let's. 2-9. Yeah, I think there was just a bit exaggerated in the swing. There was actually room to play. 2-9 from the right.
Yeah, it's a good decision.
Agreed.
It's just that subtle hold that came in there for Fiechter. That's the area of the court I really like. She uses the hold and the punch deep there. She's just been trying to rush it a little bit much, and she hasn't been using it.
Stroke to Fiechter.
That's another good decision. This is a better spell for Fiechter. Perhaps a little bit too late in the second game.
Even if she does lose this game, she needs to find some way of getting herself back into it, because otherwise, if Nouran Gohar does come away with a very, very comfortable second game, then that's just going to help her confidence grow into that third game.
Game ball, and 6 of them.
Not golf balls.
Definitely not golf balls. Again, just one needed for Gohar.
Gohar needs 2 games to love.
The golf ball's getting colder on there. Seven minutes. It's getting quicker. Nouran Gohar extending that lead to 2 games to love.
Well, quick fire stuff from the Terminator here. She didn't allow Fiechter to get into this game at all. Just at the very end, Fiechter was able to find a little joy on the volley with her skills, but really the Terminator was finding better length, getting in front, chopping the ball in aggressively. The like we said, her touch is better on this court because it's dead. She can afford to hit down on it and it stays down. She's got a good, comfortable lead coming into this third game.
Play will resume in 30 seconds. Seconds. Time. Gohar leads 2 games to love. Love all. To love. Stroke to Fiechter.
Trouble there, Gohar.
Hand out. 1-2.
I just feel at times Fiechter opening up the court too early, just
Handouts. 3-1.
not quite picking the right time to go short.
In your opinion, how is she going to find those opportunities and what does she need to do to compete better with Gohar in this match?
She needs to find a way to get in front
4-1.
for a start. Pinned behind her. You mentioned going toe-to-toe with her with that pace. I'm just not convinced that that's the right way for her to play. She's got a lot of variation in her game. Yes, she can hit and play at a fast pace, but she uses the height on the front wall well, and I think
5-1.
being able to just switch between the two more regularly,
Agreed.
take Gohar out of that rhythm.
I think the players that we've seen who have adapted to this court better are really using a lot of height. Siva Subramaniam earlier when she was playing against Hamami. You know, Hamami wants to be in a fast rhythm, and Siva was able to use the height a lot better and get in front of her.
Hand out.
When you're playing against someone where their strength, their style of play is so strong, it's quite hard to, in this sort of environment, try and take them on at their own game.
Speed is ferocious from Gohar. Moved onto that ball so fast.
6-2.
Yeah, we talk a lot about her pace of hitting, but it's also the speed of movement, which is what makes her such a threat.
Out.
Just amplifies the pace that she puts on the ball. I feel as well that Gohar will be on a mission after losing out to Sherbini in the Paris final.
Oh, definitely. She'll be wanting that #1 spot back. No question about it.
Down. 8-2, right side. out.
Serve
3-8.
not on song for Gohar. That's 2 cross-court nicks from Fiechter off return serve. Oh, it's fast.
Gohar has read that so early.
Just constant pressure, but again, for me, there needs to be more height in situations where Fiechter needs to defend better. Instead of scurrying around the front, Gohar, trouble there.
No let. Did you ask for a review? Player review, Fiechter.
We're going to review here, Nicole.
Don't think Fiechter is going to have much joy with this one. Gohar, sometimes she serves and she anticipates the cross court and she takes it so early, and especially on this court, even if it's not perfect, if you've just taken it early and you hit down on it, it's just gone.
I agree. I feel like this is more of a tactical break and play for Fiechter.
Yeah, she's desperately trying to find her way back in here. Trying to...
The thing is, that return to serve is atrocious.
No let.
No let.
Decision upheld. Fiechter has
Being upheld,
10-3.
giving Gohar
Match ball.
match ball. Oh, nice.
And out. 4-10. Match ball. Fault.
Oh dear.
11-4. Match
Not
to
the way
Serving
Gohar.
out on match ball. Well, I wonder how many court sprints that is in the Rod Martin camp.
11-4.
The Terminator just choosing to get some more court time because that match was not long enough for her. Massive smile on her face. Lovely to see another 7-minute game. Not quite the improvement from Paris that we were hoping to see from Fiechter. 26 minutes in duration. The Terminator, #1 seed, is through 3 games to love.
That's not bad, is it? A nice little round of applause at the end of that performance. Feeling good out on court there, another quarter-final for you, another cracking start to the season. Happy with that performance within yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Olivia, obviously, not only her ranking, but her caliber, she's a quality player. So obviously, I had to be very aware of this and be very focused and sharp. And that was the main tactic, I think, just be sharp every single ball. And yeah, I'm happy with the way I contained her and played well on the court as well, because it's a very like aggressive court. So you have to be very sharp, or you're not going to win any points on it.
Was it tough playing against someone who's now your training partner? You know each other's games, I guess, better than most on the PSA World Tour. How hard is that? How different is that? And obviously you're sharing a coach as well in Rod Martin. So how do you share his sort of coaching duties and insights whilst you're playing against a teammate?
I think obviously the psychological part is a bit tricky. You don't really want to, like, you know each other type of play, you know how the tactics, you know, you're coached by the same coach, so you know you're working on the same kind of thing. Obviously, everyone has his own plan, but I mean, the global idea, so it's obviously hard, and it's hard as well not to have your coach on your side in these matches, so, but it is what it is, and yeah, it's, right now we're having a good crew with Rod, so a lot of training partners, and the vibes are good, so yeah, happy with that.
Fantastic. Now, there's lots of young fans out there as well. You can see your poster all around the venue here at the Fiechter International. I'm going to let you rush off, and you might have to do a few signatures. Is that okay? Have you got time to do that?
I'll be very happy to do it, even if I stay for a couple of hours. I mean, they are the reason why we push. Sometimes you're having a bad day, and having them supporting you and cheering for you and seeing your posters. I haven't seen this before, I think, so thank you so much.
Excellent stuff. We'll see you in the quarterfinals. Nouran Gohar.
Well, tough stuff out there for Fiechter today. Thought we might see an improvement from her in Paris, but it seems like Nouran Gohar was not only able to bounce from that, not bounce back, but improve upon that strong performance last week, but also to adapt better to the court conditions here. It's always tough, like Nouran said, playing against someone that you train with and you share a coach with, but it seems like she was able to block that out pretty well. And she'll be moving on to the next round here in Qatar.
Well, the good news is we've caught up a little bit of time here. Next onto court, pretty sharply, Auguste Dusseur taking on the Peruvian Puma Diego Elias, the number 2 seed.